G'day, iRock from down under here. Today I'm casting a 3v3, which I played as Bohemians, and on my team was Vlad as the Poles, and Dream playing as the Portuguese, and he's already going up to Castle Age, as is the Goth player on the opposition, and his ally playing as the Bohemians, still not going up to castle, and the Byzantine player also not yet going up to castle. So now Vlad is he's on the way up to Castle Age as well, and I'm going up to castle. Okay, so there's only two players that are not on the way up to castle, and those two players are both in our opposition. And now the opposing flank player, the Byzantine player, is also on the way up. And now finally the Bohemian player clicks up as well. So I'm going forward with these vills. I'm going to try to do a castle drop. Fortunately the Byzantine player won the scout war, and since I'm not sure what's there and I can see these house walls, I'm just going to build a castle here. Meanwhile, Dream and Vlad are teaming up on the Goth scout. This castle will go up, of course, and the Byzantine player is walling up behind. Everyone is now in castle, and I am shooting down the gate. Meanwhile, Dream's coming forward with 8 vills. He's going to build a castle and then house wall himself in. Unfortunately, their Goth player has already started building a castle, but he's only got 5 vills on it. So we'll see which one goes up first. Put my 8 vills onto stone. Onto gold, sorry. There should be another vill around here somewhere. Unless I lost it. It's in the castle, that's where it is. And it looks like the Goth player is bringing over more vills and will complete his castle first. So these 4 vills from Dream could be in trouble. And you'll lose 1. And 2. Yeah, he's lost quite a few vills. But the castle will go up. Meanwhile, I've shot down the gate of the Byzantine player. I'm just going to use my siege tower as a scout. So Dream took some big losses there. And we can see that the enemy Bohemian player has the score lead, closely followed by the enemy Byzantine player. And Vlad is in 3rd place. Now I'm coming forward. Going to build another castle. And this castle will complete, and it seems to have the Byzantine player very panicked. Meanwhile, Vlad has taken the score lead. He's booming at home. Now I'm just pumping out these Hussite wagons. I'm going to use them to take out enemy rams. Not the best choice, but it will get the job done. And the enemy player just keeps on sending rams. At the moment he's committed to taking down this castle. Got a lot on wood, only 8 on farms. But these rams are starting to fall quite quickly. 4 Hussite wagons is a good amount to take down a ram. See how quickly this one falls. And they're falling about as fast as they're being produced. So it looks like 5 is a very good amount to take down enemy rams. And not a lot of action happening elsewhere. Vlad has boomed and is going up to Imperial, as is the Goth player. And now we see that the enemy is building a castle. So I'm making more wagons to take out these rams. And just guarding this castle here. Now the Bohemian player is sending in knights to help out. And Dream has come along with 7 organ guns. Yeah, I'm denying the castle, and Dream is helping me out. Rams are falling. And that's too much for the Byzantine player, he resigns. And Dream denies Bohemian castle. But unfortunately I've realised there's a Bohemian castle on my face. And he has penetrated into my base, looks like with maybe with a mangonel and some knights, maybe with petards, I'm not sure. But this castle will go up. The lad has reached Imperial Age, as has the Goth player. Okay, my wood line is quite safe. These gold miners are in a pretty safe position. My farms are presently idle. And I think my allies are going to come and help me out. And I'm going to send home some Hussite wagons. And I've produced 1 Hussite wagon to take out this mangonel. Job done. Organ guns are quite effective against Hussite wagons. Okay, so the Goth player has trebbed down Dream's castle. And Dream is still in Castle Age. In fact, only Vlad and the Goth player are in Imperial. I'm going up to Imperial now. No, I'm not, sorry, that's the enemy Bohemian player is going up to Imperial. And now I'm going up to Imperial. So there'll be a battle on between the two Bohemian players arriving in Imperial at about the same time. I'm trying to hold down 2 bases, and I'm under attack really in both bases. And it's the Bohemian player which is threatening me. I'm just going to wall up and we'll move along. And Vlad has a lot of hussars, starting to build a lot of stables outside of his base. There's quite a lot of stables already. Now Dream's going up to Imperial. Yes. So the enemy Bohemian player just arrived in Imperial Age. Let's switch over to the perspective of the enemy Bohemian player. He is producing a treb, sends it right out into underneath my castle file, which just got made. You can see that he's getting help, making more trebs. Now the castle war is beginning. I'm getting chemistry, making a treb. I'm attacking his castle, whereas he's going for my gate, it seems. And Vlad sends in his hussars, takes out one of the trebs. Will conscription complete? That's the question. I don't think so. It does. And now Vlad's many hussars are swarming the center of the map, destroying this production center for the Bohemians. You can see that he doesn't have a huge amount, but he's built another castle over here. He's going to try to treb down my castles here, take back this base for his side. Vlad is taking control in the front of his base. Meanwhile, Dream and Vlad are, just largely Vlad, are pushing through the open gate of Goth player, who's just making helbs at the moment. And with 2 trebs, the enemy Bohemian player will take out my first castle. Also making a siege workshop. Hussar versus Helbs. The Helbs have the numbers and just overwhelm the Helbs, so it's a pretty good fight. Enemy Bohemians are sending in Helbs to try to support. Meanwhile, I've brought my 3 Trebs from home over here to take out this castle. And this raid has been pretty much stopped by that influx of Bohemian Helbs. But what's going to happen up here? It's 3 Trebs onto 2. And now it's 3 Trebs each. Meanwhile, the Goths are attacking Dream's base, but the castle is taking down the Elves. That seems fairly safe. Bohemian Elves are taking down my Hussite wagons. But my castle's taking down those Elves. And finally the enemy Trebs are falling. And Dream has hand cannoneers. Vlad has a lot of hussars and they stabilise and hold the middle very convincingly. Dream also has organ guns. Okay, now we have Bohemian bombard cannons attacking me, and I haven't produced bombard cannons yet. So this will be a very bad fight and I have to back away. But thankfully, Vlad is once again raiding the Goth player. And he's trying to take down the Bohemian castle over here. So backing away. Now I have my own siege workshop. Meanwhile, the Goths have closed off their base. And Vlad's force of hussars will likely be taken out by the castle and these Bohemian Helbs. have a bombard cannon battle being waged, and I've managed to win that and hold on to my castles. A big force of elves there, mostly from the Goth player. But Vlad controls the center, and we look over here and we can start to see why. That is a lot of stables. Stables, stables, as far as the eye can see. Everywhere stables. Okay, so let's switch over to Vlad's perspective. Yeah, we can see he's got about 60 military, producing hussars, hussars, hussars. And he's got 83 farms, so he's got good food production. And these hussars are just gobbling up enemy buildings in the center of the map, gradually wearing down the enemy. Vlad was temporarily short on food as he needed to bring his numbers back up, and we have the enemy at it again. It's like that last shot just was enough. And okay, so that is once again secure. And now Vlad's hussars are storming the Goth base with, importantly, a huge force of hand cannoneers from Dream, and he's got more reinforcements. So it's about 70 hand cannoneers. And the Goth infantry will just be slaughtered. So finally some big damage being done to the Goth base, and all of these infantry are just going to die. Vlad is massing hussars for a raid. Looks like the castle should fall. And I'm trying to push these production buildings. There's a big force of Bohemian elves coming after me. But now Vlad pushes in for a big raid, and that should be the end of the Goth player. Hussars everywhere. Hand cannoneers covering the production buildings. Yep, the bell has not even been rung. Doesn't seem to be any garrisoning of villages. I think that the Goth player has given up. And GG. It's too strong from Dream and Vlad. Okay, that just leaves the Bohemian player. We'll switch over to his perspective as he's still harassing me, refusing to give up, refusing to go away. He just wants to be annoying where he thinks he can do the most damage. But he has lost a lot of bombard cannons, and Treb's trying to take down this castle. Another one goes down. And now Vlad and Dream are pushing the southeast corner of his base. He's probably fairly secure with this house wall behind. I think Dream is going for the gate. It's a better decision, I think. No, he's going for the TC. Oh, and Vlad's hussars are inside the gate. And finally I'm taking down these production buildings, pushing the enemy back, but he's still come with more, now upgraded to Ufnisi. And these are pretty tanky, so but I don't think he's paying attention, so I'm just going to get 2 quick shots. And I've still secured my base, and I'm pushing, and I've taken out these production buildings, so now the fight's has well and truly shifted, and the gate is down. Dream's massive force of hand cannoneers is in, and Vlad is raiding with some hussars. And still he persists in cutting. Does get some good damage with that Ufnisi. Kills 2 bombard cannons, but then it goes down. I think this is the end. He does have good resources, but he really lost his eco and a lot of his production buildings. He's making Ufnisi from 2 siege workshops. And finally he calls it. And that was definitely overdue. So Vlad boomed, and look at that massive military score and the big economy score as well. I had a lot of castles, won the society score. Vlad killed 700 and lost only 450. My KD was over 4 to 1. Vlad's was nearly 2 to 1. So very good KD for such a massive set of figures. And Dream also had an extremely good KD, over 4 to 1. So we all did very, very well. Dream raised a lot of buildings. In fact, we all raised quite a lot of buildings in the end. Dream had the largest army, 133. I had probably the smallest army. The economy, Vlad produced an awesome amount of food so that he could produce an awesome amount of hussars, and we saw it. He produced probably over 450, probably around 500 hussars, and Dream collected the most gold. The technology score, I won the race to Castle Age by a long way, by over half a minute, and almost winning the race to Feudal Age by a minute, so it was good. Vlad got to Imperial Age first. He sat back early and boomed up, and surprisingly the Goth player got to Imperial Age quite quickly as well. And Dream was the only one with relics captured, although the Bohemian player had a lot of relic gold, so that's very interesting. And in the timeline, we can see that I put early pressure on the Byzantine player in castle, and that led to him calling GG around here. And then we had Vlad and the Goth player both arriving in Imperial about the same time. Vlad then very quickly produced a huge military force of Hussars. He had a lot of stables. But the Goth player was very slow to get out that famous Goth infantry. We only saw a couple times where he actually was able to mass a large force. And then both occasions, that large force was whittled down by Vlad's Hussars and Dream's gunpowder units. He had force of organ guns for a long time, and he had a massive force of hand cannoneers towards the end of the battle. I was pretty much just locked in a castle war with trebs and then bombard cannons against my opposing Bohemian players. So we had Bohemians against Bohemians with castle warring, trebs, and bombard cannons. And I was able to win that battle, and I was heavily assisted by my two allies just pummeling away at the Goths and then against the Bohemians right at the end. GG, it was a fun game. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you